Today I will be presenting my assigned topic, which is the Karush-Khan-Tucker theorem, or the Karush-Khan-Tucker conditions. So this is a theory assigned topic for the requirements for the ES305, or Applied Engineering Analysis. So introduction for the Karush-Khan-Tucker conditions. So in mathematical optimization, the Karush-Khan-Tucker conditions, also known as the Khan-Tucker conditions, are first derivative test, sometimes called first order necessary conditions for a solution in nonlinear programming. So when we say nonlinear, the equation is either more than, the degree is more than 1. For example, x squared plus y squared is equal to 5. For us, this is a solution in nonlinear programming to be optimal, provided that some regularity conditions are satisfied. So based on my research, there are 4 necessary conditions for the Karush-Khan-Tucker conditions. So allowing inequality constraints, the KKT approach to nonlinear programming generalizes the method of Lagrange multipliers, which allows only equality constraints. Similar to the Lagrange approach, the constraint maximization or minimization problem is rewritten as a Lagrange function whose optimal point is a saddle point. So therefore, the Karush-Khan-Tucker theorem is sometimes referred to as the saddle point theorem. The KKT conditions were originally named after Harold W. Khan and Albert W. Tucker, who first published the conditions in 1951. Later, scholars discovered that the necessary conditions for this problem had been stated by William Karush in his master's thesis in 1939. So let's now proceed to some examples for the Karush-Khan-Tucker conditions in order to understand this theorem. So let's proceed to the Karush-Khan-Tucker conditions for equality constraints. For example, for this problem, in the following form, we have to minimize a function of x subject to g sub I x minus b sub I greater than equal to 0. So inequality I equal to 1 up to k, g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I equal to 0, I is equal to k plus 1 up to m. So we have to give the KKT necessary conditions and explain each equation. So minimize function of x subject to g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I greater than equal to 0, I is equal to 1 and up to k, and g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I equal to 0, where I is equal to k plus 1 up to m. So the description, feasibility. So the equation of is g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I is feasible. So this is the first equation, the first condition. I is equal to 1 up to m. This also applies to equation 2 and 3. And the second condition is no direction which improves objective and is feasible. And its equation is gradient of f of x minus the summation of lambda I. The gradient of g sub I is a function of x, and that asterisk sign there is the optimum equal to 0, and this is applies to all equations above, equations 1 up to 3. And the complementary slackness, so lambda I, which is optimal, times the g sub I is a function of x, optimal minus b sub I equal to 0, I is equal to 1 up to k. It applies only to equation 2. And the positive Lagrange multipliers, lambda I, which is optimum greater than equal to 0, I is equal to 1 up to k. Equation 2 also. So Karush-Kantakar problem for equality constraints. Given the following problem, solve for the solution using the Kikiti condition. So we have to solve this problem in order for us to understand Karush-Kantakar problem. So minimize function of x equal to 2x sub 1 square plus x sub 2 square plus 4x sub 3 square. So this equation is non-linear because it is a quadratic equation. So subject to, and this equation is subject to g sub I is equal to x sub 1 plus 2x sub 2 minus x sub 3 equal to 6, and g sub 2 is equal to 2x sub 1 minus 2x sub 2 plus 3x sub 3 equals to 12. So g sub 1 and g sub 2 are both equality constraints. So first, this equation, g sub I x, first condition, g sub I of x, which is optimum minus b sub I, is feasible, where I is equal to 1 up to m. So x sub 1 plus 2x sub 2 minus x sub 3 minus 6 equal to 0. So we have to rewrite the equation. So 2x sub 1 minus 2x sub 2 plus 3x sub 3 minus 12. So we have to transpose 6 and 12. It will become negative. Then we use this equation, partial derivative of f minus over partial derivative x sub 1 minus lambda 1, partial derivative g sub 1 over partial derivative x sub 1 minus lambda 2, partial derivative of g sub 2 over partial derivative x sub 1 equal to 0. So for x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3. So x sub 2 and x sub 3 will follow this partial derivative f over partial derivative x sub 1. So we have to follow the change 1 into 2, and for x sub 2 and for x sub 3 you have to change only the subscript. So this is the gradient of gradient of f as a function of x up to optimal minus summation of lambda I, gradient of g sub I as a function of x equal to 0. So this partial derivative, these equations, three equations, partial derivative of f over partial derivative x sub 1 for the f, the derivative of 2x sub 1 square is 4x sub 1, and minus lambda 1 over partial derivative of x sub 1 is 1. Lambda 1 times 1, and lambda minus lambda 2, the derivative of 2x sub 2, 2x sub 1 rather, is 2. So we'll follow this equation, these three equations. You will now get this the equation below, 4x sub 1 minus lambda 1 times 1 minus lambda 2 times 2, this equation. So there are 5 equations, 5 unknowns. So using matrix, using matrix inversion, the coefficients 1 to negative 1 0 0, 2 negative 2 3 0 0, 4 0 0, 1 negative 1 and negative 2, and x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, lambda 1, lambda 2 is equal to 6 12 0 0. So using systems of linear equations with 5 unknowns, 5 equations, 5 unknowns, and also using using matrix inversion, E times x is equal to b, or x equal to the inversion, the inverse of a times b, we will get the value of 5.045 for x sub 1, 1.194 for x sub 2, 1.433 for x sub 3, and lambda 1 is equal to 7.522, and lambda 2 is equal to 6.328. Then substitute for this, substitute these values, you will now maximize or minimize the equations, or minimize rather, since the problem is to minimize. So we'll now proceed to another example. The Karush-Kantaka equations for inequality constraints. So solve for the optimum to the following problem using the Kikiti conditions. So we have to minimize f of x sub 1 square plus 2x sub 2 square plus 3x sub 3 square. Subject to g sub 1 is equal to negative 5x sub 1 plus x sub 2 plus 3x sub 3 less than or equal to negative 3. G sub 2 is equal to 2x sub 1 plus x sub 2 plus 2x sub 3 greater than equal to 6. So as we have noticed, g sub 1 and g sub 2 have inequality constraints, less than equal to negative 3 and greater than equal to 6. So for this example, we will follow steps. So step 1, change problem to be in the proper form. Okay. From g sub 1 equal to negative 5x sub 1 plus x sub 2 plus 3x sub 3 less than or equal to negative 3, we will change, or we will rewrite the equations. So it will now g sub 1 is equal to 5x sub 1 minus x sub 2 minus 3x sub 3 greater than equal to 3. And g sub 2, 2x sub 1 plus x sub 2 plus 2x sub 3 greater than equal to 6. Step 2, assume both constraints are binding. So we will not know if this is correct until we see the signs of the Lagrange multiplier. When we see the sign, so it will be positive or negative. So step 3, write out the Lagrange multiplier equations as the same with example number 1, previous example. Partial derivative of f over partial derivative of x sub 1 minus lambda 1 partial derivative of g sub 1 over partial derivative of x sub 1 minus lambda 2 partial derivative g sub 2 over partial derivative of x sub 1 equal to 0. Partial derivative of f over partial derivative of x sub 2 minus lambda 1 partial derivative of g sub 1 over partial derivative of x sub 2 minus lambda 2 partial derivative of g sub 2 over partial derivative of x sub 2 equal to 0. And last equation, partial derivative of f over partial derivative of x sub 3 minus lambda 1 partial derivative of g sub 1 over partial derivative of x sub 3 minus lambda 2 partial derivative of g sub 2 over partial derivative of x sub 3 equal to 0, where g sub 1 is equal to 3 and g sub 2 is equal to 6. And when we follow this equation, so it will now become 2x sub 1 minus lambda 1 times 5, 2x sub 1 lambda 1 times 5 minus lambda 2 times 2. So this 2x sub 1 is the derivative of x sub 1 square. This 5 is the derivative of negative 5x sub 1. And this 2, lambda 2 times 2, that is the derivative of 2x sub 1. For x sub 2 is the derivative of 2x sub 2 square minus lambda 1 times negative 1. This negative 1 is the derivative of lambda 1 times negative 1 is the derivative of negative x sub 2. Lambda 2 minus lambda 2 times 1 is the derivative of x sub 2. 6x sub 3 is the derivative of, is the result of the derivative of 3x sub 3 square minus lambda 1 times negative 3. This negative 3 is the derivative of negative 3x sub 3 minus lambda 2 times 2. This times 2 is the derivative of 2x sub 3. And 5x sub 1 minus x sub 2 minus 3x sub 3 equal to 3 is the g sub 1. And 2x sub 1 plus x sub 2 plus 2x sub 3 is equal to 6 is the g sub 2 is a function of x. So using matrix inversion, like the same with previous example, using matrix inversion, you will now get x sub 1 is equal to 1.45, x sub 2 is equal to 0.800, x sub 3 is equal to 1.150, lambda 1 is equal to negative 0.5, and lambda 2 is equal to 2.70. And as we have noticed, lambda 1 is a negative number, negative 0.5. Note, solving systems of equations with unknowns or using matrix inversion, we will get the unknown values, this one. But lambda 1 is equal to negative 0.5. So what do we do? So we have to drop the constraint and solve the problem again. Since the lambda 1 is a negative number, we will set lambda 1 equal to 0 because it violates the conditions. I think the condition is the fourth conditions. Lambda must be greater than or equal to 0. If the result is negative, we have to drop the constraint. We have to set lambda 1 equal to 0. So we'll now proceed to Karosh-Kantor conditions with inequality and equality constraints. So there are inequality constraint and equality constraint. For the problem, in the following form, minimize function of x subject to g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I greater than or equal to 0, I is equal to 1 up to k, and g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I equal to 0, I is equal to k plus 1 up to m. So you have to give the Kantor necessary conditions, and also we have to explain this other equation. So description: feasibility, g sub I is a function of x optimal minus b sub I is feasible, applies to equation 2 and 3. So no direction which improves objective and is feasible. The gradient of f of x optimal minus the summation, which is it applies to all. Then complementary slackness, lambda I times g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I equal to 0. And positive Lagrange multiplier, lambda I greater than or equal to 0, I is equal to 1 up to k. So in order to minimize or maximize this equation, this condition should be followed. So solve for the example, solve for the optimum using the KKT conditions. So we have to minimize f equal to 4x sub 1 square plus 2x sub 2 square subject to 2x sub 1 plus x sub 2 equals to 8, and 2x sub 1 plus 4x sub 2 is less than or equal to 15. So note, at the optimum, it is known that the inequality constraint is satisfied but not binding. So we have to take advantage of this information. So solution: 3x sub 1 plus x sub 2 minus 8. So we have to rewrite the first constraint. Negative 2x sub 1 minus 4x sub 2 plus 15 greater than or equal to 0. For the second constraint, we have to rewrite. So this is not a binding constraint, so we have to set lambda 2 equal to 0, and we drop the inequality constraint. So we have to drop g sub 2 since the constraints are not binding. So 8x sub 1, so we have to directly write the equation: 8x sub 1 minus lambda 1 times 3 minus 0, because g sub 2, lambda 2 rather, is 0, times negative 2 equal to 0. 6 is sub 2 minus lambda 1 times 1 minus 0 times negative 4 equal to 0. So these equations, 8x sub 1 and 6 minus lambda 1, these equations follow the Lagrange multiplier. Those equations, the partial derivative of f over partial derivative x sub 1 minus partial derivative lambda 1 times partial derivative of g sub 1 over partial derivative x sub 1 minus lambda 2 partial derivative of f g sub 2 function of x over partial derivative x sub 1 equal to 0, and the second equations, which is partial derivative of f over partial derivative of x sub 2 minus lambda 1 times partial derivative of g sub 1 over x sub partial derivative x sub 2 minus lambda 2 partial derivative of g sub 2 over partial derivative of x sub 2 equal to 0. So there are only two equations. So now using matrix inversion again, we can now solve the value of x sub 1, x sub 2 and lambda 1, which is 2.2323, 1.032 and 6.194. So we'll now proceed to the application of KKT conditions. For a problem in the following form, minimize function of x subject to g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I greater than equal to 0, I equal to 1 up to k. G sub I is a function of x minus b sub I equal to 0, I is equal to k plus 1 up to m. So give the Cantaker necessary conditions. So again, minimize function of x subject to g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I greater than equal to 0, I equal to 1 up to k, and g sub I is a function of x minus b sub I equal to 0, I equal to k plus 1 up to m. So equation, so g sub I, this is the same with the previous example. So for the first equation, first condition, it's primal feasibility. For the second condition, it is an dual feasibility, and the same with the previous example, previous conditions, complementary exactness for condition 3, and fourth condition is the positive Lagrange multiplier, which is lambda I must be greater than equal to 0. So if the Lagrange multiplier, or if the lambda I is negative, we have to drop the constraint. So example, a cylindrical storage tank is to be constructed for which the following cost apply. So metal for sides is $30 per square feet, concrete base and metal bottom $37.5 per square feet, top is $7.5 per square feet. The tank is to be constructed with dimensions such that the cost is minimum for whatever capacity is selected. So it is clear. One possible approach to selecting the capacity is to build the tank such that an additional cubic foot of capacity costs $8. So note, this does not mean that $8 per cubic foot average for the entire tank. So find the optimal diameter and height of the tank. So dollars equal to 1. So the cost for the side is $30 per square feet. Cost for the base is $37.5 feet square, and cost for the top is 7.5, which are already given. D is the diameter. These are the parameters. So each height, and V is the capacity. So area of the side, which is area of the cylinder, is pi dh, and area of the base is equal to area top is equal to pi d square over 4, which is an area of circle. So minimum total cost, minimize total cost subject to volume equation, of course. So the minimum total cost is equal to cost of side plus area of side plus cost of the top and cost of the base times the area of a base is equal to cost of the side times the area of the side is pi dh plus cost of the top plus cost of base times area of a circle, or area of the top and area of the base. So subject to volume is equal to pi over 4 d square times height, which is the volume, and lambda 1 is equal to $8 per feet square. It's the capacity or the additional cubic foot, which is $8 per feet square. So we have to write the KT conditions. First is the primal visibility, which is the pi of d square over 4 times the height minus the volume equal to 0. So dual visibility also cos of side times pi times h plus cos of the top plus cos of base times pi over 2 times d, cos of side times pi dh minus lambda I times pi over 2 times d times h pi over 4 times d square. So there are two equations. So it follows the Lagrange multipliers. So complementary slackness and positive Lagrange multipliers don't apply. So no need to apply complementary slackness for this kind of problem, and positive Lagrange multipliers, which is the lambda I must be greater than equal to 0. So we have to solve for the Kahn-Tucker condition. Start with last equation in dual feasibility section. So cos of side times pi times diameter minus lambda 1, pi d square over 4 equal to 0. So we have to eliminate d equal to 0. Solution. Cos of side is pi minus lambda 1 times pi over 4 d equal to 0. So solve for d. So d is 4c side over lambda 1. So d is 15 feet. So you have to use first dual feasibility equation to solve for the height. So cos of side times pi times height plus cos of top plus c cos of base times pi d over 2 minus lambda 1 times pi over 2 d times height equal to 0. So we have to solve for the value of h. So we have to rewrite the equations, the above equations. H is equal to negative cos of top plus c base times pi over 2 d, c side times pi minus lambda 1 pi over 2 times d. By solving, h now the value of h is equal to 11.25 feet. So we have to use primal feasibility constraint to solve for the volume. So volume is equal to pi over 4 d square times height, which is the volume of a cylinder. So volume now is 1988 cubic feet. So the question is to solve for the optimum diameter of and height of the tank. The answer are the diameter is 15 feet and height is 11.25 feet, and its optimum volume is 1988 cubic feet. So I presented 4 examples for the Kahn-Tucker conditions. I think it's enough. So thank you for watching my video presentation. That's all.